Spring. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, there are lots of flowers blooming, the weather's getting warmer, and as one poet put it is the time where a young person's fancy
quite often turns to love. That's right, folks. It's
Today, in the next few days, we're going to take advantage of the fact that it is Valentine's Day week and talk specifically about relationships because they can be very, very difficult. While relationships are really good and can be really loving, they can also leave you with a broken heart. So this week, we're going to focus on what a healthy relationship looks like, how to be healthy yourself in a relationship, and how to seek out people that are good for you. These things will apply not only to dating and romantic relationships, but also friendships, family relationships, professional relationships, and so on. So let's get started.
Let's get right into it.
With a word from you about what a healthy relationship might look like. Yeah, I'm filming myself. I'm not filming anyone down the hall. Okay. I've got this sign up that says, answer my question. I'm seeing if anybody wants to answer my question. Would you like to answer some questions?
Yes, I would.
Okay, great. Would you like to step in frame here? Would you like to step in frame? All right, so my first question is, what does a healthy relationship look like?
A healthy relationship, communication,
Great.
honesty.
Honesty, love that.
Loyalty. You gotta be love it towards each other. That's what a great relationship look like.
So what makes a healthy relationship? And it can be friendship or dating relationship.
I think communication is really important. And then also knowing where both of you want to be. Knowing that both of you want the relationship. So if you both want it, it's going to work out.
Probably if both parties are truly happy and they accept each other for who they are.
Making friends how I do is based off over time.
Over time, yeah. So just spending a lot of quality time together, hanging out, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
I think communication and just understanding of the other person.
Oh, a healthy relationship. I don't know, just one where they communicate, I guess.
Yeah.
You could talk about how you feel without having to hide subliminal messages. Just say how you feel straight up.
Ooh, yeah, no games, right? Yeah.
I think a healthy relationship is one in which you support the other person and you support their goals. So one thing about me is I like to sew. I'm a big crafter, and my fiance, when he first met me, knew nothing about art or anything like that. And now he'll go with me to different sewing shops and talks about sewing machines, not because he necessarily likes it, but he knows I like it. And just having that balance, and we build each other up. We try not to tear each other down.
Lovely.
Not being toxic.
Not being toxic?
Not arguing over little stuff.
Not arguing over little stuff. What do you think of when you think of a healthy relationship? And it can be dating or romantic or friendships.
Mutual respect and trust, so that I can trust the person that they're going to do what they say that they're going to do, or they're not going to do something that they say they're going to do.
Great. Thank you for those that answered my questions. While all relationships are very different in terms of what the expectations are on each partner, there are a few things that every healthy relationship has in common, and they are these: open communication, mutual respect, and healthy boundaries. We're going to talk a little bit about all of those things. Now, most relationships don't fall under just one category of all the way healthy or all the way unhealthy. As human beings, we make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes happen in the context of our relationships. And so we really just want to strive to make every relationship that we're in as healthy as possible. But this is the spectrum, as you see it up top. It goes from healthy to unhealthy to downright abusive. We will be talking about what dating violence and relationship abuse looks like later on this week, but for today, I just want to focus on these two: healthy and unhealthy. A healthy relationship means that both you and your partner are communicating. This means that you talk openly about any issues that you're having, and you listen carefully to the other person when they are trying to communicate with you. Both you and your partner are respectful to each other in a healthy relationship. You value the other as they are, and you don't try to change them. You respect each other's emotional, digital, and sexual boundaries, and we're going to talk about what those are. here in a minute. Trusting. You believe what your partner has to say. You just know because you trust their word that they care about you and they trust your word that you care about them. Both partners are honest with each other, meaning that you can keep some things private, but you at least have to be open and honest about the important things in the relationship. Both partners in a healthy relationship are equal. This means you make decisions together instead of just one person making them, and you hold each other to the same standards. And finally, enjoying personal time is something that healthy partners do. This means that you can enjoy time that you have together, but you also are free to enjoy time with others or alone. It may feel counterintuitive, but the ability to be alone in a relationship actually makes a relationship healthier. You may find yourself in an unhealthy relationship if one or both partners is doing any of these things. And basically, it's the opposite of everything that's on this list. Not communicating. Basically, when problems arise, you fight about it or you just push it down and don't talk about it. If one or both partners is disrespectful to the other, which means that they are not considerate of each other's feelings or personal boundaries. Not trusting. Maybe one of the partners or both of the partners doesn't believe the other person when they try to tell them something. If a partner is not trusting, that could also result in them invading their partner's privacy, like getting into their phone DMs or something like that, because they don't trust them to take them at their word. On the other side of that, you also have to be honest. And so an unhealthy relationship has dishonesty coming from one or both of the partners. It's unhealthy when one or both partners tries to take control over the mutual decisions that you're supposed to be coming to, which might mean that one person feels as though their desires or choices are more important and should take over the others. Another sign of unhealth is that if both partners only spend time with each other, or if one partner spends time not with their friends, but with their partner's friends more often than they spend time with their own friends. So here are some tips to make sure that your relationship or future relationship is as healthy as possible. Number one, speak up. If something's bothering you, you should feel okay with bringing that issue up with your partner. And if you're afraid to bring it up because you're afraid of how they might react, that might be something to consider too. Maybe if they're not going to listen when you speak up, it may not be good to be with that person. Respect each other. Each person in a relationship's wishes and feelings have value. And so it's important to keep the other person's ideas, feelings, and values in mind when you are bringing your own experiences, feelings, and values to the table. Compromise. Disagreements are a natural part of a healthy relationship. Those fights or arguments shouldn't really be fights. They should be respectful disagreements and compromise, wherein both parties see where the other is coming from and try their best to accommodate that. It's important in a healthy relationship that you each be supportive of the other. If one person has a particular dream or idea that they want to go for, then a healthy partner is going to build them up and help them achieve whatever goal it is that they're trying to achieve. It's also important for you to let your partner know when you need something or when you need support. And finally, respect for each other's privacy. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that every single tiny little thing, down to passwords, what you ate for dinner 3 nights ago, who you spoke to in math class, all those things don't necessarily need to be shared. Even though you may be in a relationship or a friendship, you are still an individual and need to keep some things to yourself. Well, folks, that'll about do it for today. We're going to be talking much more about relationships as we go throughout the week. Remember, this is not just good for dating relationships, but any type of relationship that you might be in. Be good to yourself and others. Enjoy the discussion on the next slide, and I'll see you real soon.